the world's attention turned to Anchorage, Alaska, a city more accustomed to quiet snowfalls than the blinding glare of international scrutiny. For a brief moment, this remote northern outpost became the epicenter of global politics, its streets buzzing with motorcades and its skies patrolled by military aircraft. Here, a meeting of immense political gravity was about to unfold, drawing diplomats, journalists, and security teams from every corner of the globe. The stakes were nothing short of historic. Former President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, their respective entourages in tow. This marked Putin's first visit to American soil in over a decade, a symbolic gesture that underscored the significance of the occasion and the risks both leaders were willing to take. Trump had boldly promised he could end the brutal war in Ukraine, a conflict that had raged for years and claimed countless lives. This summit was his audacious attempt to deliver on that pledge, to prove that his unconventional approach could succeed where others had failed. The goal was clear: find a pathway to a ceasefire and begin de-escalating a conflict that had destabilized the globe, sending shockwaves through economies and alliances alike. The world watched, hoping for even the smallest breakthrough. Yet expectations were low. Few believed that a single meeting, no matter how high profile, could unravel the tangled web of the Ukraine conflict. Skepticism ran deep, with many analysts predicting little more than political theater. For Trump, it was a chance to prove his deal-making prowess on the world stage, to show that his reputation as a negotiator was more than just bravado. For Putin, it was a rare opportunity to break Russia's diplomatic isolation, to reassert his influence and perhaps reshape the narrative surrounding his country's actions. The summit was political theater at its most dramatic, with global security hanging in the balance and every gesture scrutinized by the world's media. Notably, key allies and Ukraine itself were not in the room. Their absence raised serious questions about the legitimacy and durability of any agreement that might emerge, casting a shadow over the proceedings. The meeting was a test of personal chemistry and political will, a high-stakes bet that direct dialogue between two powerful leaders could succeed where years of traditional diplomacy had failed to make a dent. As the leaders disappeared behind closed doors, the world held its breath, waiting for any sign of progress or collapse. Every minute felt like an eternity. Would this audacious gamble pay off, bringing hope to millions affected by war, or would it simply add another chapter to a long and bloody conflict, deepening divisions and prolonging suffering? The stakes could not have been higher. In Anchorage, the world waited, hoping that history might be made, or at least that disaster could be averted. Anchorage, Alaska was chosen for its symbolism, a bridge between continents, a place where East meets West, and where the past and present converge in a dramatic setting. Its unique geography serves as a nod to a shared history, reminding both nations of their intertwined destinies. Russia once owned Alaska, selling it to the U.S. in 1867. This land, once Russian, now American, stands as a living symbol of shifting power and diplomacy. Holding the summit here was a subtle reminder of deep-rooted ties, and a gesture toward reconciliation and mutual recognition. The meeting took place at a major U.S. military base, surrounding the talks with unmistakable American power and strategic might. Fighter jets and a visible military presence underscored the seriousness of the discussion, sending a clear message to the world about the stakes involved. For Trump, it projected strength and authority, reinforcing his image as a leader unafraid to stand firm on American soil. For Putin, it offered legitimacy and respect, placing him on equal footing with his American counterpart in a setting rich with historical resonance. Outside, Trump supporters rallied, adding a layer of domestic theater to the international summit, their presence amplifying the political stakes at home. Every detail was carefully choreographed to create an image of two powerful men taking control of the narrative, shaping perceptions both domestically and abroad. The symbolism was as important as any communique, with every flag, handshake, and backdrop chosen to send a message. By choosing Alaska, Trump evoked history, projected strength, and ensured he controlled the environment, blending past and present into a powerful statement. The dramatic landscape provided a fitting backdrop for a summit central to the world's future, its vastness echoing the weight of the decisions being made. The location itself became a character in the story, a testament to the complex evolving relationship between the two powers, and a reminder of the stakes at play. The stage was set for high-stakes diplomacy, with the world watching to see what would unfold on this symbolic frontier. The Alaska Summit's official agenda was clear and urgent, centering on two of the most pressing issues facing the world today: the ongoing war in Ukraine and the increasingly fragile state of nuclear arms control. As leaders gathered under tight security, the weight of these topics was evident in every conversation and document. The most immediate concern was finding a path to a ceasefire in Ukraine. Trump's team, eager to make headlines, floated controversial proposals such as land swaps, ideas that sparked heated debate and drew intense scrutiny from both allies and critics. The world watched anxiously as these suggestions threatened to redraw borders and set new precedents. Yet, beneath the surface of official statements and photo ops, each leader arrived with their own unspoken goals and private calculations, shaping the true nature of the negotiations. For Vladimir Putin, the summit was a chance to regain international relevance and seek relief from the crippling sanctions that had isolated Russia. He aimed to leverage the talks to restore Russia's standing and secure concessions that would benefit his regime. Meanwhile, Donald Trump was motivated by the prospect of a political victory, hoping to be seen as a peacemaker on the world stage, and to boost his own standing at home and abroad. Adding to the tension was the looming expiration of the last major nuclear arms treaty between the two nations. The clock was ticking, and without a new agreement, the world faced the very real danger of an unchecked nuclear arms race. The prospect of a renewed arms race alarmed not just diplomats but ordinary citizens and activists worldwide. The stakes were nothing less than global security, with the threat of nuclear escalation hanging over every discussion. Despite their differences, both leaders publicly acknowledged the critical importance of nuclear stability. This shared interest offered a rare, less contentious area for potential agreement, even as other issues remained deeply divisive. Behind closed doors, rumors swirled about other transactional discussions, including the future of valuable Arctic resources. Both sides denied any secret deals, but speculation persisted, adding another layer of intrigue to the summit. In reality, the summit's agenda was a complex blend of official priorities and hidden ambitions, managing the war, preventing catastrophe, and reasserting power on the global stage. The talks unfolded as a delicate and intricate dance of intentions, ambitions, and strategic maneuvering, with every word and gesture carrying immense weight. For millions of people, especially those in Ukraine, the outcome of these private conversations could mean the difference between continued suffering and the hope for peace. Around the globe, people watched and waited, searching for any sign of progress or breakthrough, knowing that the decisions made here could shape the future for generations. The stakes of the Alaska Summit extended far beyond the negotiating table, reaching into the lives of millions and the very fabric of international order. A striking feature of the summit was who was not there: Ukraine and key European leaders. Trump's team believed fewer voices would simplify negotiations, positioning him as the ultimate mediator. This sidelined Ukraine, whose sovereignty was at the heart of the discussion. The absence of Kyiv and European allies raised concerns about legitimacy and effectiveness. Critics argued that any deal without Ukraine's input would be dead on arrival. European leaders, excluded from the process, saw it as a diplomatic slight and a win for Putin. The two-men-in-a-room approach is classic Trump, but critics say it oversimplifies complex issues. By excluding Ukraine and Europe, the summit streamlined conversation, but stripped it of essential perspectives. The empty chairs in Anchorage symbolized a high-risk strategy that prioritized speed over consensus. After nearly 3 hours, the summit ended without a breakthrough. No ceasefire, no peace plan, no joint communique. The complexities of the Ukraine war proved too great for a single meeting. Both leaders quickly framed the talks as a success, claiming progress and open lines of communication. This narrative allowed them to claim victory, even without tangible results. The reality, the war in Ukraine continued, and the suffering did not stop. Trump shifted responsibility to Zelensky and European leaders, leaving them to build on a process they were excluded from. The summit opened a door but provided no clear map forward. Critics dismissed the event as a nothing burger, more about optics than substance. The grand gesture produced little of consequence. While leaders spoke of a new beginning, the lack of concrete agreement left a sense of anticlimax. The meeting ended not with a bang, but a whimper. The path to peace remained as uncertain as ever. After the summit, Trump and Putin presented a unified front at their joint press conference. Trump called the talks extremely productive, framing the meeting as a critical first step. He cast himself as a pragmatic peacemaker, emphasizing his desire to stop the killing. Putin echoed Trump's positive assessment, praising the frank, business-like atmosphere. Both leaders blamed previous U.S. administrations for the conflict, bonding over a shared narrative. Their performance projected control and cooperation, but specifics were vague. Trump reiterated he was not negotiating for Ukraine, only trying to bring parties together. Hints at territorial concessions remained controversial and unexplained. The focus was on the positive tone, not tangible results. The image of the two leaders side by side was the main deliverable, the immediate goal. Control the narrative and define the summit as a success. In Kyiv, the mood was one of apprehension and resolve. President Zelensky's government made it clear. Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity are non-negotiable. The idea of ceding land to Russia was forcefully rejected as a non-starter. Trump's hints at land swaps were met with alarm, seen as a betrayal of Ukraine's sacrifices. Any deal rewarding aggression would be a catastrophic failure for Kyiv. Ukraine insists peace can only come when all Russian troops leave its territory. Excluded from the summit, Zelensky now faces the challenge of responding to a process he didn't shape. Ukraine holds a de facto veto over any peace plan. The message from Kyiv peace cannot be imposed from the outside. The international reaction was a mix of skepticism and faint hope. European leaders sidelined from talks, worried about concessions that could undermine security. The lack of a concrete outcome was a relief. No damaging deals were made. Critics called the summit a nothing burger, more spectacle than substance. Yet, some saw value in dialogue between the world's largest nuclear powers. Even without results, talking was better than silence. If Trump could end the war without sacrificing Ukrainian territory, it would be a monumental achievement. The world was left in watchful waiting. The summit altered the diplomatic landscape, opening a new channel for communication. The path to peace remains long and uncertain. With the summit over, the question is, what happens next? Trump placed the onus on Zelensky and European leaders to advance negotiations. The immediate future will see consultations among Kyiv and its allies. Nuclear arms control talks may see more progress as both sides acknowledged urgency. Lower-level diplomatic talks are expected in the coming months. Progress on arms control could be a tangible outcome, even as Ukraine remains stalled. A lasting solution requires Ukraine's direct involvement. The two-men-in-a-room model has run its course. The Alaska summit may be remembered more for symbolism than substance. The world continues to watch and wait.